Hey there, welcome back. It's Shireen with another Adobe Illustrator tutorial. And this time we're going to be taking a look at how we can create seamless patterns in Illustrator. So this could have sort of fashion and textile design applications, but really it's for anyone who's sort of interested in making beautifully seamless patterns very easily for use in applications with your other graphics and design work. So let's get started. I've already kind of pulled out sort of a few different motifs for us to kind of play around with. This video is just going to kind of be focused on working with vector art, but just to let you know that the pattern maker function we're going to be working with also will accept images that are already sort of in tile repeat. So just to let you know that it does accept sort of raster artwork as well. And we'll look at that in other upcoming videos. But for right now, we've got some artwork that we've image traced, some artwork that we've created ourselves, and let's get started. So I'm actually going to start with, let's start with our flower. So this flower, as you can see, is sort of a radial, and there's no distinctive top or bottom. And particularly for fashion and textile purposes, we do want to work with artwork that does not have a distinctive top or bottom, so that if we print it onto the fabric, we can use the fabric in both directions so that there's no one distinctive up or down. So this is always a good choice, is working with something sort of round or radial. So what I'm going to do to create this as a pattern swatch so that I'd be able to use it as a fill, all I have to do, select my artwork and drag and drop. And you can already see it's created a tile in my Swatches panel. And so I can go ahead and set myself up with a nice little swatch there. I could fill it with a color, or I could fill it with my new great pattern. I'm working right now just in grayscale so that eventually I can also fill with my own colors. But for right now, this is a tile repeat. That means it's a straight repeat. That means it's going in a horizontal and vertical straight direction. Let me kind of move this off to the side, delete, and now I think I need to get a little bit fancier. So instead of just a straight tile repeat, I'm going to want to have more options how I manipulate it, and so I'm going to double click, and this puts me into the pattern maker mode. Okay, we know that everything's kind of gone dark. You'll see that we're working with our pattern swatch, and right now would be a good time. I'm going to call it Pop Flower 1. Okay, but right now, as you see, it's in that tile grid, so we already had that going on. We can actually play here brick by row, brick by column. I'm going to focus on these two because, again, in fashion and textile applications, brick by column represents half drop, brick by row represents a half slide. So that means that the motif is at a certain position, it drops halfway down and returns back to that position. So that's called a half drop. So I'm going to click on brick by column. And you see what's happened now, right? So it's kind of a zigzagging effect. So motif, right? Or dropping down, up, dropping down. And that's really easy, and I didn't have to do anything. So I'm going to go ahead and save that copy. So I'm going to call that, let's call it just Pop Flower PF2. So that's my second variation. So save a copy, a different copy of that pattern swatch. So sounds good to me. I'm going to zoom in now. And I think it's not grouped, so I'm going to just group it, Command G or Control G on a PC. And I just want to show you that I can actually enlarge it. Wow, so that it's kind of overlapping with the rest of the flowers. It kind of looks like this really beautiful garden. You see that the rest of the flowers, it's giving me the preview of what it's going to look like when I fill other artwork with this seamless pattern, which is just amazing. And also too, it's keeping my original motif as opaque and the rest are dimmed down. I can also choose to dim them down even further, right? So that it's really distinctive which one is my live pattern and which ones are just the preview. So I'm going to save that one. I kind of like working sort of 50 or 60. I'm going to save that one too and call it PF3. Okay. I could also, if I wanted, maybe I want to just make certain elements. Maybe I just want to make that top tier in that flower. Maybe I want to make that one 50% opacity. So I can kind of bring down the opacity. I could also fill it with a color. I'm making it yellow so you can see. Right? So that's kind of cool. So I'm going to kind of keep that one as well. I think that's a cool, interesting thing to kind of play around with. PF, this one's going to be 4. Okay, so, and then the last one, I think I'm going to go ahead and make that little center yellow as well. So it's a little bit different, but it's worth saving. Save a copy. Okay, so I think I have 5 of this one right now, and I still want to get over and play with some of those other motifs. So at this point, I just want, now here's sort of the moment of truth. At this point, I'm done playing with my brick by column variation. I can also, I'll look at these in the other ones. I can also choose to have less, right? So maybe I just need to see 3. I think 5 is great. So I think everything is great. I'm ready to wrap up. But the thing is, you're instinctively feeling like you're done. So you want to click the check that says done, but you're going to have to go against your instincts. And when we're finished manipulating our prints in the pattern maker, we're actually going to hit cancel. So we're not going to hit done. We're going to hit cancel, and I'll tell you why. When we hit cancel, look what happens. Pay attention to my swatches panel. When we hit cancel, we don't overwrite that first Pop Flower 1, but instead we get to keep that original Pop Flower 1 plus save a copy, save a copy, save a copy, save a copy. Every time we create an iteration, we save those patterns as well. So when we hit done or select done, we're overwriting that first pattern. So just hit cancel and we get to benefit from the pattern maker. So actually, let me go back and grab our simple humble bird. Bird over here is a motif silhouette. We used him in our image trace video, ready to be created, ready to create a pattern. However, this is clearly a one-way motif. There's definitely a distinctive up, a distinctive down, a very clear top and bottom. So what I'm going to do is hold down Option or Alt, and I'm just going to rotate and flip him over. I'm going to hold Shift to lock that into place so that I have one facing up, one bird facing down. And then what I like to do is I like to play around and kind of get them to have like sort of this little interesting relationship. I think that's kind of nice. I think there's something nice about the feathers touching, and then there's something really nice about how the beaks are sort of creating this beautiful relationship, negative space here. So I'm going to keep them in this relationship, one up, one facing up, one facing down. And then when I group them, or I don't even have to group them, I can just select them, drag and drop. So this is my second pattern that I'm working with already. So this flower is my first pattern, and these are the different iterations. And now this is my second pattern. And again, move these guys off the artboard. So I have a nice blank canvas, and I'm ready to work in pattern maker mode. Double click. There we go. Tile repeat. I'm going to play around and see what brick by column looks like. So it looks like it's kind of creating, as you see, that zigzag effect. So first of all, that first one I'm going to call bird 1. And then this one I'm going to save a copy and call it bird 2. And save that copy. You see that? Instantaneously. So Illustrator is doing the work behind the scenes to create that tile. And it's figuring out how to create a tile so that the artwork overlaps seamlessly. We're not working with backgrounds. If you've noticed, no backgrounds yet. I'm not working with a white tile background. There's no background. And that's because if I do work with a piece that's going to be a background, I'm going to have to focus on how it overlaps with each other in the different tile variations. So my personal technique is don't work with the tile yet. Let Illustrator figure out the repeats. We're going to add the tile in later. So that's going to be in the next video. So for right now, no background, playing around with brick by column, half drop or straight repeat. But the fun thing is, you know, you can come here and what if we create it as a 2-color print, which is kind of cool. So I'm going to go ahead and save that one. Bird 3. And let's do one more for posterity. How about if I rotate? Aha. Okay. Oh, now that is kind of fun. Look, we've got what we were kind of creating this nice striping, but with the gray and the black, it's just creating this really beautiful flow and movement, and that's really important. So that one's going to be a keeper. Bird 4. Okay. And here's the interesting thing. What would happen if I shrunk these guys down? I just want to show you. Look at that. You opened up a lot of, we've now just opened up a lot of negative space. Maybe instead of having them like this, we kind of create them, right? It's starting to look kind of like a chain, which is really cool. But for my next variation, I think I don't necessarily want all this negative space. So I'm going to show you right now, we can take this original tile. This was the size of the original tile. We can take that tile and say, size the tile to the artwork. change the tile to be the same size as the artwork, that looks like this. Aha. That is really great to me. So I really love that. I'm actually going to make this guy a little bit lighter too to really bring up the contrast and save that copy. I think that one looks great. So that one is 5. Whoa. So we're really zooming along. So I think that's enough for the bird. Remember, you want to hit done. You want to click that you're done, but you're going to go ahead and hit cancel so you get the benefit of keeping your original swatch plus all your other iterations. And last but not least, here's just another flower. But again, it's got a couple different colors. It's been image traced, so I would have to come in with my magic wand if I needed to kind of do any color changes right inside here or into that lighter gray. And you can see here in the fill, right? So I'm clicking on the lighter gray. Let me go ahead and, yeah, it's as light as it can be. I'm going to make the outside a little bit darker so we see more of a contrast. But I just want to show you, check it out. Option or Alt. I'm going to hit R to access the rotation. And again, think of some nice little sort of way that they can kind of relate to each other. Look at this, Command C, Command F for paste in front. I just want to show you I'm rotating and I'm also playing with my opacity. So I'm kind of creating this really crazy, interesting, but you know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me push this off to the side for a second. Let me just go back to my original little humble flower. Drag and drop. Okay. And then once I'm in here, then I'm going to go ahead. So see, I was already kind of getting excited. So now that I'm in here, I've got my single repeat, double click. Let's call this one Lotus 1. And then we're going to go ahead and group Lotus 1, and let's get started. I'm going to repeat kind of what you just saw me do, right? So here's Lotus 1, and I'm going to duplicate and rotate, R key to create that rotation. I have a few things I can do, right? So now it looks really different. How's that, right? Look at that, really, really quickly and easily. Once again, size the tile if you want to not have that extra white space. That's kind of cool. Lotus 2. And how about Command C, Command F to paste in front? Let's try that again. Ooh, I kind of like that. And I think for my other one, I had actually played around with the opacity. It's kind of great. So I'm going to save that one too. I love them all. Lotus 3. Okay, so let's just do 3 for that one and hit cancel, right, to choose cancel. So you can see really all of these great thumbnails, and I'm just going to finish up by kind of showing you how you can present them, creating some nice little swatches here. I'm going to go ahead and hit Option for Mac, Alt for PC, and Shift to lock that into place. That makes a duplicate. If I hit Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D, I think I can fit them all on this page. And you can see though that they're transparent in the back. See that? So we're going to create that back tile later, don't you worry. Once again, Option or Alt. I just want to put a bunch of these, and I'm going to hit Command D to repeat that. Command D is Object, Transform Again. Object, Transform, Transform Again. So I made a transformation by making the duplicate, and it just lets me transform again. So there's print 1, print 2, print 3, print 4, print 5. Second print, iteration, 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 iteration. So print 1, print 2, print 3. Okay, and if I feel sad that I don't have those extra, I can always come in and create some more. There you go. All right, so really, really, in less than 15 minutes, an amazing surface design exploration collection. Give it a try. Ask questions below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Have fun making your beautiful patterns. Take care.